big on fighting these days, but I don't call the cops. And I'm not big on scrapping lately. When I start, I don't stop. I just need one more person to hate me talk that talk. One more problem might make me kill them all. I'm a heartbreaker, ass kicker. I'm a heartbreaker, nasty words. I got 2 fingers for ass kissers. I'm an asshole, dirtbag, no good bastard.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome everybody. Hey, William Kelly. Is that bacon? What? Oh, I gotta switch my screen a little bit here so I can read the chat. Baconator. The weather looks like crap, but it looks like it's still a go right now. I got another stream up, and I got SpaceX up in the background here. The weather is kind of iffy, but right now it's looking okay. What's all this? We're gonna drive out to SpaceX, and while we're waiting for the launch, we're gonna drive on out there. We're at Brownsville Airport. We're gonna head on over to the oops. Hello, Stu, Rudin. Welcome, welcome. So we're waiting for the SpaceX. They'll go live in about a half an hour. Whoa, 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 whoa! So I feel like driving this thing. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, they did such a great job with this. Didn't realize how bad the cars were. I think I'm on the right road. I've only been down here once. Get a landing of 5. Whoa. It's going to be interesting to see if people start taking like racetracks like Sonoma and famous tracks, Watkins Glen, if they start doing mods fixing up the racetracks. Didn't somebody do one already in England? Yeah, they did. They did a British racetrack. So, car. Crappy road. Whoa. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa! There was a glitch. I didn't see it live. It was in the middle of the night. I kind of wasn't paying attention, but I did see it made it. That was pretty freaking cool. Awesome shot of its shadow on the moon. It made it, landed upright. They did better than all the other countries that have tried in the last couple of years. What the fuck did I just hit? Nothing. Just the road. Make sure I'm still going the right way after a spin like that. Hey, time. There we go. Yeah, we're good. We're still going. We're looking forward to it. I think this is going to go, but we're not going to see shit because it's like really foggy. Unless the fog clears, and there's a little bit of wind. Oh, cool. Cool. Look forward to checking them out. Whoa. You can't leave this thing on because when you hit the gas pedal, it zooms in. I'm pretty sure this is the road out. Yeah. We're good. This little cart's fun. But it's got some issues. Oh, what the fuck did I just do? How the hell did I get out here? Uh-oh. Don't do that again. This is the Got Friends one. I haven't bought the other one yet. I will, because definitely going to be doing some events or some streams using the carts, just because they're fun as hell. So we'll be getting the other one so that it shows up when people want to watch. Yeah, that's not good. But we should be able to just do that a little too far. Where'd the road go? Where the hell did the road go? Right over there? Alright, I gotta bring the fucking map back up. Parallel 42. So, yeah, I'll support them. I like Parallel 42 and I like Got Friends, so I don't have a problem picking up both of them. Oh, no, 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 don't start in the trees. Out of the trees, out of the tree, out of the frickin' trees. I just went back down off the bump, didn't I? Yes, no? I think we're good. We're heading east, northeast. Oh! Oh, Mrs. TPHI. This right here is a border checkpoint. When you drive out there, there's a little border checkpoint here. Because literally, if you go to the beach, you just across the river from Mexico. Mexico's like right there. Literally. There's a little border checkpoint you cross. We're cooking now. What happens if I hit the turbo? Whoa! Hang on! We are scooting now. Oh! E-brake. I'm in the trees. I'm doing good. I shouldn't have tried to slow down. I can get back to the road. I don't know where the road is. Right there. As of right now, it's fueling, so it looks like they're gonna. I don't imagine them wasting millions of dollars in fuel just to fuel it up to not launch. So I think they are thinking it's okay that the weather is good enough to go. I would imagine they'd spend an absolute shit ton of millions of dollars fueling the frickin' thing to not use it. Because they do lose a certain amount, just fueling it and taking it back out, pumping it back down still loses quite a bit of fuel. Hey, what am I doing? Oh, I was looking at the fucking chat rolling by from. I have NASA space flights chat on, or stream on, because they're pretty accurate on their shit, so. And they don't make up stuff, like some of them make up some really wild theories. Did y'all see that the racing game? Oh, for God's sakes! Forza Horizon's actually now on PlayStation 5, PS5, and I thought that was a exclusive to Xbox and PC for like ever. I haven't gone over to look at the Discord yet. I mean, I have Discord up. Oh, hold on. Alright, I've lost my road. Where the fuck's the road? There. Let me take a quick look and see what Stu got up there. I don't even have Discord open. Yeah, I love the shot of that little shadow. I heard one of the dumbest comments today that I just honestly couldn't fucking believe it, that somebody was that dumb. They actually asked, how come with all the modern technology, all the pictures of the moon are still in black and white? That was the dumbest fucking comment I ever heard. I hope the person was joking, but I thought they were pretty serious. That's like terrifying. That they would literally think that it's because everything on the moon, there's nothing color on the moon. There's no plants, there's no water, there's nothing color except for what we put there. Damn, it's a long drive out here. If I remember when we were out here in the car, it was a long drive. I'm doing 100 and some miles an hour. I'm doing it knots, kilometers, but knots. Doing knots in the car. Hey, I wonder if I did that, I'd change my speedometer out in my car for knots instead of miles per hour. Let me see if the AI tried to scrub some of the cars out. Oh shit. Oh, I knew we were going to hit that tree. Yeah, I got to figure out if there's a way to turn that off. I just want to hit a tree and stop. I don't want to hit a tree and bounce. Cool. Thank you. Let's admit, this has a lot of potential to have cars in this same. If you can just make some, if you can just start making some AI straighten the roads out, flatten the roads out. You can do some rallies, races, you can do a lot of shit. A lot of potential having the whole world you could drive on. We already have the whole world to fly on. Oh shit. Get the trees out of the road. How are we doing on time? Oh shit, I gotta bring the SpaceX feed back up so I can see. Are we gonna make it to SpaceX before we even get to the... before their coverage starts? Let's see, I don't want you... Well, as of right now, it's fueling. Definitely fueling up. I don't know why I instinctively try to go around these cars. They're not solid. Oh, there's Star Factory. And I can't believe Osobo didn't do this and Kennedy as handcrafted areas. Especially on a game about flight sim. Oh, Mr. TPHI. How was your day? Oh, those are definitely not office buildings that tall. That's the high bay and the mega bay and all that shit. That's where they build them. Oh, that's good. Get it finished in payday. That's always good. Looks like got one of the towers over there. This is the actual little town of Boca Chica. So they bought out most of it. There's a few people that still live there, but they have to evacuate whenever they fill this big bastard with fuel. The houses are too close. Oh, I got one of the towers. It looks more like the Empire, or it looks more like the World Trade Center, but the launch site. I stood right here. I got a picture of me with one of the test vehicles in the background. They got it as an office building. That's funny. Ah, I love the squealing on sand. Check out the beach. Like I said, you can actually camp on this beach. It's a lot smoother than this. Whoa! That's weird. That beach isn't real solid. Don't try to land a plane out here. Too rough, and when you get too close to the water, it just sinks. Quicksand. Yeah, gotta hate the quicksand. SpaceX should be starting any minute now. Oh, no. I love how it floats. I was trying to get to Mexico. This is just over here. This side of the Rio Grande. This isn't very grand anymore by the time it gets here. That'd be cool. You can just put tracks on this thing. Let me take a quick peek at what we got here. Oh, it says 5:59 for the coverage. So we got another 8 minutes. Okay. But there's still fuel, and the tank farms are all going. Oh, yeah, it'd be cool if they put just tracks on the back and skis on the front. That'd be the shit. You can just do it with the same car. Keep the same suspension and everything. Just put a set of tracks on the ass. Well, look at space launch. Yeah. Certainly is. I'm trying to find the towers back there. There's the tower, launch tower. We're trying to get to Mexico. And it's right here. I think. Where the fuck's my map? Yep. Right there is Mexico, literally. Oh, shit. Hey, Mighty. Yeah, it's not doing too bad as this race sim. But now we're in Mexico. It's the Rio Grande, not really such a big river anymore. Between the U.S. and Mexico, you use up most of it before it gets to the ocean. You see where somebody did donuts out there on the satellite video? You see the donut marks. See if we can see them on the ground. Yeah, right there. Somebody did a... Somebody whipped a donut. Hello everyone, sorry, texting to its own phone. So I can't talk. You can't text, I can't talk. How you doing, Mighty? And Gunner. Hey, if anybody knows anybody who wants to make a little bit of money, I don't have a whole lot, but wants to make a little bit of money, I want some liveries made for the channel to be able to give out for a few aircraft. Not just Gunner's aircraft, but a few. Like 5 or 6. Gulf of America's right there. Right there. This beach is on the Gulf of America. Whoa. Right here. We're in it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on. There's actually a road that runs up here. You can sort of see it. It's not really a road, it's a dirt track, but it's a lot rougher here than it is in real life. Pretty smooth. Of course, every time there's a storm, it gets smoothed out. Dustin the new moon buggy. I'm sorry, I really hope to God somebody, very shortly, we have the entirety of Mars now mapped and photographed in high res. All of it. And Mars is so much smaller than Earth. Why can't we just put map at Mars in the sim? Create some handmade airports, you know, base stations or whatever, and fucking fly and drive on Mars. How much of the shit would it be to take a glider or something slow and rip down Valles Marineris, the largest valley in the world, in the solar system at the moment that they know of? Get over here back to the tower. Oh. I'll have to find the paint kits for all of them. I know I want yours. Oh, yeah, that kind of funky when you hit trees. I just want it to stop when it hits trees. I'll have to look into that. Well, balls. How we doing? It's definitely foggy there, but man, they're definitely pumping the propellant to it. I can't believe they stacked it late last night. This is like no static fire testing, none of that wet dress rehearsal, nothing. They just freaking stacked it and you're gonna light the candles on it. Look at how much better it looks on the satellite photo than it does on the ground. Let's see. Oh, we got 1 minute. It's supposed to be starting. Let me see. Refresh. Okay, we're gonna. Their logo's playing, so we're gonna kick over to that in a second. I want a red and black livery. Doesn't have to be specific to each one, but I want red and black with both the grumpy old one with the grumpy old bastard on the tail and one with the channel logo, the globe on the tail. So if anybody wants one that's not got a middle finger sticking out, can have the one with the globe. Well, all 3 airplanes, or all 4 airplanes. I want airplanes, and I want, you can do whatever you want for the livery, red and black. I trust you on that. And I want the Piaggio 180 and the Honda Jet. And I don't know about the other one, because I'd love to do the longitude, but they keep fucking it up. It's totally borked. Hey, I never noticed that. E-brake handle pops up when you grab it. Okay, that's cool. Nitrous oxide bottle. Hit that. And gear. All the satellite dishes. Oop. A bunch of boats over there. Alright, SpaceX, come on, let's grow. You gotta watch SpaceX's music when there's nobody on the screen. Sometimes their music is freaking copyright protected. Their videos aren't. They let anybody use their videos. But occasionally they put copyrighted music on. Tank farm over here. Funny how much better it looks on the satellite than on the ground. Alright, SpaceX. 57,000 people are watching a blank screen on SpaceX. That's pretty wild. I got really good news from my doctor yesterday. I was excited about that. My numbers, if I keep on the diet, I may be able to quit 1 or 2 of my meds too. They keep going as good as they're going. So that's got me excited. It's a boy now. The meds I've been on for years, I may be able to go off. one or two of them, though. It's exciting news. Well, come on, SpaceX. Now there's 79 people, 79,900 views. It's crazy. Let's we'll go full screen in a minute. Once I actually start. Keep sound off until I know for sure. Started 4 minutes ago, but they haven't started anything yet. Hey, the fucking weather down there sucks. They may be delaying a little bit, hoping that whatever that front is moving by. I don't know. I said one of the weather balloons broke loose and hit a power line and shorted everything out. Oh, Maddie's going to bed. Why is she going to bed? Nope, she went into bed. I'd like to see what Maddie's doing. She's just going into bed. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're going to kick it over to SpaceX. Get sound on. I'm going to get out of here. I'll leave it there for now. Here we go. We're ready to roll. I love how they show the SpaceX pulling the fucking rocket engine, but everybody remember the 1970s Chevy pickup truck commercial where he pulled the 747? Was it Ford? I think it was Chevy. Pulled the 747 down the runway. Or out of the hangar. SpaceX is like, our Cybertruck pulled the rocket engine. Chevy's like, our truck pulled the 747.
Good afternoon and welcome
to
the 8th flight test of Starship. What a gorgeous view there on your screen from Starbase, Texas. It is currently 5:05 p.m. Central Time here, and we are looking forward to tonight's launch of the world's most powerful rocket. I'm Kate Tice,
There's Kate,
Systems Engineering Manager here at SpaceX.
And
Dan.
Dan Hewitt with SpaceX Communications. Welcome to our first ever broadcast from Starbase's new Star Factory building. I've been waiting a while to say that. Super excited.
Oh man, they're close. Must be blast protection on that class.
At 5:45 p.m. Central Time today.
Yeah, and if you were wondering, yes, that is the pad just behind us. Now, just over 1 month ago, we saw the second ever tower catch of the Super Heavy.
Can you imagine being that close, that fucker launching? Oh, I'd love it.
That was also the first ever flight of the next generation of ship, which successfully lit all 6 Raptor engines and flew for several minutes before contact was lost.
That's right. We completed our investigation following that mission, made a number of hardware operational changes for today's flight. We're going to detail all of those in just a few minutes. Important to remember, though, progress in a developmental program like this one, it's not always linear. There's no comparison, though, for putting that flight hardware in a flight environment to learn as fast as possible. And as always, primary payload for Starship.
Look at the venting on that shit.
Data.
The objectives for today's flight will look very similar to Flight 7. We're planning to deploy simulated Starlink satellites and fly a range of experiments. We've moved a number of tiles from ship. We've removed a number of tiles from the ship for re-entry testing. We will also intentionally be stressing the flaps during re-entry so we can test the limits of ship before we get ready to attempt future ship catches. So lots of new testing happening today, and as always, excitement is definitely guaranteed.
And just checking on things at the pad real quick as we're under 38 minutes away. We are tracking to 5:45 p.m. Central Time liftoff. We've got a window all the way to 6:30 p.m. We have started prop load. You'll start to see those frost lines building up.
Yeah, look at that shit.
Super Heavy and Starship.
We're not tracking any technical issues,
Wow.
any range issues, any weather issues
Wow.
from a launch at that 5:45 p.m. mark. So we are loading prop on the vehicles, looking good for a launch in just a little over 37 minutes. Now, let's meet today's vehicle on the pad. It's the world's biggest rocket, Starship.
Yeah, you see it there on your screen, but to get an even better sense of how big Starship is, let's start with the average size human, which is about 2 meters high. Or
Millennium Falcon.
towering over our human is the length of the Millennium Falcon, which comes in at 35 meters. Our Falcon 9 rocket, which is has the payload fairing attached, is double the height of the Millennium Falcon at 70 meters. And twice nearly the size of that is the fully stacked Starship, just over 123 meters tall. The ship is about 52 meters tall, and the Super Heavy booster alone stands at about 71 meters. So it's pretty
crazy.
big, and we do have plans to make the ship and booster even taller in the future, if you can imagine.
And Starship itself features two major parts. We've got ship, that's the fully reusable upper stage powered by 6 Raptor engines. And then we have the Super Heavy booster that's fully reusable first stage with 33 of those Raptor engines powering it. Super Heavy, the most powerful rocket ever flown, designed to launch, return, refuel, launch again with 0 refurb. And to make all
Somebody leave their
happen,
phone on?
we also have Stage 0. That's everything else you see around it that enables Starship to fly. The tower, the orbital launch mount, quick disconnects, prop farm, everything. Stage 0 is also just as critical to achieving that rapid reuse as Starship itself.
Back on the rocket, the ship features 6 Raptors, 3 of them for sea-level engines and 3 for vacuum engines. Raptor Vacuum, or RVAC, is a similar design to the Raptor engine, but features a larger exhaust section and a larger expansion nozzle to maximize the engine's efficiency in space. It's also designed for vertical takeoff and landing on any hard surface, useful for when you're taking off from a place like Mars that's still waiting for its first launch tower.
And that ship is
Look at that shot.
with 4 flaps that are used to control the vehicle's attitude during subsonic flight and to enable a precision landing. The 2 upper ones are right here. And then to achieve full reusability, the ship has to survive entry not just once, but multiple times. Every single time we send it up and bring it back, it does that with its
They definitely move those
we
flaps in the front
every single
much farther
time
back.
we're just building towards a heat shield that requires no refurbishment. The one today, it's still composed of those thousands of hexagonal ceramic tiles. And they're designed to insulate the vehicle during that atmospheric reentry where some of those temperatures spike up as high as about 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit. That's one of the real big things we're still working on. Rapidly reusable heat shield has never existed in history. So just continuously improving on it right now is just a key focus for all of these flight tests.
And then there, in between the first and second stages, is our hot stage. We saw that in action first.
It's in those same hinges at Home Depot? Probably. Why rebuild something you can buy off the shelf?
Ignited before the booster engines are
Or why reinvent something?
With hot staging, the rocket never stops accelerating during separation. So it's actually more efficient than traditional stage separation, even though it sounds kind of crazy. You actually see it there on your screen now. That is one of the upgrades that we made on Flight 2, thanks to lessons that we learned on Flight 1. Several of the improvements and upgrades made for today's flight will unlock our ability to fly longer missions, something that we'll want to start doing, as we start doing orbital flights around Earth, and of course, eventually to Mars.
And ship definitely had a lot of lessons learned on Flight 7, but Super Heavy Booster put on one hell of a show for our second ever return to launch site and catch. Marked our first reflight of hardware, shout out Engine 314, and it brought us a lot closer to full reuse. For more on that,
hey Benjamin,
Ready Internet, we're going to be joined now by our buddy Chris out in Hawthorne. How's it going, Chris?
And thank you, Dan, and I couldn't agree more. Raptor 134 definitely started us down that path toward rapid reusability for the Raptor engines, and who knows, maybe we'll see it again. Stay tuned. Welcome, everyone, to Hawthorne, California. As you can hear, excitement is building as we count down to Starship's 8th flight test. Behind me, you can see one of our mission control rooms where engineers here in Hawthorne are assisting our flight control teams in
this is our studios. Almost make you think it's real.
avionics and, of course, those powerful Raptor engines.
That one dude have a Marlboro hat on? I think he had a Marlboro hat on.
Engines you'll see and definitely hear today were manufactured right here in Hawthorne, California. And the engines on today's flight are all Raptor 2 engines, which is the same design we've been using for Starship's flight tests to date. And that includes all of the engines that have powered the 2 Super Heavy boosters back to Starbase for catch and recovery by Mechazilla.
Look at that shit.
Here at SpaceX, we like to continuously improve our designs by eliminating the parts we don't need. We call this applying the algorithm, and that helps us simplify designs and drives us toward rapid, reliable reuse.
Now, fucking simplified, they made that engine. That's bonkers.
Like you can see here on your screen. I love this family photo of the Raptors because it really shows you the unprecedented step forward in rocket design that Raptor 3 is. And you can really tell that we applied the algorithm here, questioning the requirements for the engine, finding the parts we didn't need, and then optimizing for manufacturability and reuse. Now, one of the cool things about Raptor 3 is that it eliminates the large and heavy...
I like to see the big penis thrusted up into space. Let's say that like this guy talking now.
Raptor 3 engine is going to save us about 1.1
I just want to see this big penis thrusted up into space.
or more engines. So Raptor 3 will help us increase Starship's...
I know, bring back Kate.
And as well as the amount of mass that Starship is able to deliver.
They're from the Ford Raptor.
I gotta say, personally, it's really exciting to be looking at the engine that will make life multiplanetary. Beginning
Bring
with
back
Mars.
Kate.
But before we get to Mars, we still
We
have a
want
lot of
Kate.
important
We want
critical
Kate.
development work to do. And it's flight tests like today's that help us do just that. So as we get ready for Flight 8, let's take a look back at last month's Flight 7.
Well, how many times I've heard that?
Flight directors go for launch. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have
You ever say that? We have liftoff?
It's a big deal. It doesn't hurt anybody. Fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Just had to get that in there.
vehicles will keep downrange.
They're gonna get me copyrighted strike with their music off that bastards.
Keep. Booster engine cut off.
It's funny, you watch Blue Origin's launch, the last launch, and all you get these little cartoon pictures of this what the aircraft is doing, what the rocket's doing. And SpaceX will get high def, multiple camera angles.
The launch team is go for tower catch.
We are go for booster return.
This is insane when you watch it come down. They had a video of it from the ground coming down. It's insane. That's fucking not sped up. That's bonkers. I still can't believe they can fucking do this. It all looks like fucking fake CGI. Nobody in their right mind can believe that they fucking bring back a skyscraper and catch it.
Booster landing work shut down. Mechazilla has popped the booster.
Missiles right down to nothing. I know it. It's fucking bonkers. See, they lost a Falcon 9 today. It landed. There was a small fire that burned one of the legs off. One of the landing legs off, and it fell over.
Lost ship.
We've lost a ship.
Oh man, seeing that recap, my hands got sweaty again in excitement watching that and in anticipation knowing that we're gonna hopefully get to experience booster catch again. I know seeing my first booster catch I'll never forget.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Nothing on the planet.
Now, using the data from Flight 7, we've made some key improvements under the hood for today. Flight 7 taught us a couple of important things that changed some of our pre-flight testing to help us investigate more. First, we saw a harmonic response several times stronger in flight than we saw in testing.
And harmonic response, in this case, it's essentially vibrations that we're seeing go through the structure. Rocket engines as you can imagine, create an incredible amount of noise and vibration, which then passes through every component of that rocket. And on Flight 7, we saw those vibrations happening at a very specific frequency, and they were placing some extra stress on that hardware in Starship's propulsion system. This is most likely what led to propellant leaks that we saw that eventually cascaded into fires and ultimately ended with loss of contact with the ship.
As part of our investigation, our team at Starbase took this flight's ship through a 60-second static fire on the Starship test stand, which is 10 times longer than any previous static fire. During this test, we cycled through multiple throttle levels. In fact, you can see that on your screen now. We cycled through multiple throttle levels on the engines to recreate different conditions seen within the propulsion system during flight.
That's fucking crazy.
We tested some hardware changes on fuel feed lines to the Raptor vacuum engines.
This gave us just the extra data that we needed to eventually implement new hardware that's installed in those fuel feed lines for the RVAC, the Raptor vacuum engines. Also tweaked a couple of other things like the temperature of the propellant as we're feeding it to the engines. Also the throttle level that we set for those engines during ascent. Having the ability to do a 60-second static fire, just one of the ways we're trying to expand our test capabilities here at Starbase. You want to test like you fly as much as possible. That just
Yeah, that's what you were just talking about. It vibrated,
Exactly.
or the engine that caused fuel leak, and the fuel leak was in an area where there was not enough vents, so it built up the gas in there, and then it caught fire and exploded.
Today's vehicle has one of the hardware configurations we tested in that extended static fire because it showed it was able to minimize the harmonic response and lower its amplitude or strength.
We also took another look at where those fires broke out, specifically in what we call the attic. That's an unpressurized space between just the bottom of the ship's liquid oxygen tank and the top of those engine heat shields. Fires in that space resulted in a loss of vehicle back on Flight 2 and also on Flight 7. So we took some steps to make it more resilient to leaks in the future. To do that, we added a pretty hefty purge system. It's going to use gaseous nitrogen. It's pretty similar to the CO2, the carbon dioxide system we use on booster. It essentially just floods the zone with an inert gas to prevent a fire from ever starting. And then in addition to this, we increased the attic's natural fire defense just by adding some additional vent holes. That helps to keep the attic pressure as close to just vacuum as humanly possible as Starship flies into space.
And for the next generation of ship, we're running the algorithm. We're going to try and do the next best possible thing and delete some of the unnecessary space. So that ship will be using Raptor 3 engines, which will let us reduce the attic volume and eliminate the majority of joints that can leak into the space. In the end, what you're seeing take place with these changes is the core of our test program. We fly hardware all together in a real-world environment. We learn from the data, we make upgrades, and then we fly again. Ultimately, we fly to learn, and we're learning a lot.
That's right. Now, for today's flight test, we're going to be attempting to do everything we didn't get to do on Flight 7. We're still looking to get our first re-entry with this upgraded version of ship. Also intentionally trying to stress it to gather real-world data on just where the vehicle's boundaries are. So don't be surprised if it's not a smooth flight down to a landing for ship today. As always, it's going to start with liftoff. The 33 Raptor engines on super heavy igniting, lifting both it and Starship into its ascent, and it's going to power us all the way until hot staging.
Yeah, those engines on the ship will ignite while the ship is still attached to the booster. This will create that stage separation that we see there. The second stage will continue to go on its way.
This is Gulf of America on there. On there.
To the launch tower just behind Dan and I for hopefully what we will see
That's funny.
the third ever booster catch.
Meanwhile, ship continues its ascent, gets into its suborbital place in space. We're going to have a test satellite deploy, pew-pew, Starlink's firing out. And then we're also going to do a Raptor relight, relighting one of those sea-level engines before we get to ship re-entry.
Troubleshoot by the state machine.
And the ship will continue through, make its entry phase that lasts
We got a hold.
a few minutes.
Hold on. A 4-minute hold. That's what he said.
And if some comms did just go out, we heard that an operator hold got in, so they are troubleshooting one issue. As we continue to move through prop load, we'll get some more details on what caused the hold, and if we start to reset to a new T0. We are still loading prop on the vehicle, so essentially putting that hold in means that if we get through everything and we hit that T-minus 40-second mark, we'll hold there and wait to clear the issue if we haven't cleared it at some point in the next 20 minutes.
That's cool.
Yeah, for those that are unfamiliar, that T-minus 40-second period is an opportunity to troubleshoot, unlike our Falcon timeline. So we do have a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
Continuing on with today's plan, that ship will be making a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean, as we have seen before. We are launching at 5:45 p.m. Today. This evening launch will allow us to have daytime views of the ship as it makes its splashdown. So,
Yeah,
good news.
I want to see this thing launch at night.
But we're still hyper-focused on finding all of those
Clear night.
limits of Starship. We want to be able to prepare to return ship to launch site and catch it. A lot of these recent upgrades are just made to
Flight 8, Starship Flight 8. Pez has run out.
Block of upgrades to the upper stage to add.
I want Pez to actually make a Pez dispenser that spits out.
Flight 8 today, we're hoping to get through a few.
Hey Brett, how's it going?
Starting us off, the forward flaps got a redesign. They shrunk in size and shifted
They're coming
toward the
back at
top
night.
of the vehicle and away from the heat shield. And that will significantly
Hey,
reduce their
hey you.
exposure to re-entry heating.
I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright, baby. I'ma have the best
Fucking night of my life.
With
Thank you, Brett.
upgrades such as
16 months. Awesome, dude. Thank you so much.
I used to say, fuck off. Now I say, that's
That's nice.
avionics module.
Yeah, ship got a little bit taller. That extra prop's going to allow us to fly those longer missions. We're not planning on stretching it a whole lot more beyond this in future ones, but then, you know, once we're flying,
Here are their tiles purposely missing.
it'll be going. Just like the previous flight, a lot of tiles have been purposely removed. As again, we're trying to stress test all of the vulnerable areas. Call this the missing tile test. Those tiles are removed in strategic locations all across the vehicle, including critical areas.
Look at the fucking tiles they've left off on purpose.
The flap seals as we use this flight to just really push those boundaries. In addition to that, we have some metallic tiles again that are being tested, including one on the right of this animation that has some active cooling built in.
The vehicle's avionics also underwent a complete redesign with things like 4 upgraded Starlink terminals, combining Starlink, global navigation, and RF communications. You can see that location there on your screen. And on the sides of the vehicle, non-structural versions of the ship's catch fittings are installed to test the thermal performance, along with a smoothed and tapered edge on one section of the tile line to address hotspots.
Cost too much in tariffs to put them all on.
We're back at testing some radar sensors on those tower catch arms. We did that last flight. We're doing it again as we look for some additional ways to measure the distance between the arms and the vehicle. Catching the ship's going to be pretty different from catching the booster. It does that flip right before, so your antennas are going to rapidly reorient. And so just having any extra sensors on the ground side, you're adding extra layers of control while the ship and tower talk to each other for a catch.
That's bonkers.
First, Starship will deploy 4 Starlink simulators. They are similar in size to our next generation Starlink satellites, with unparalleled payload capacity and.
I hope one of these
Starship will
fake,
be able to deploy our
one of the fake
V3 Starlink satellites
they're going to spit out's got a camera on it. How cool would that be to look back and see Starship going away from it?
Starlink V3 launch.
I don't think any of them did, because somebody would have spotted it.
Terabits of capacity to the Starlink network. To give you some context, that's about 20 times the capacity of what we're adding with every V2 mini launch on a Falcon 9 right now. That's going to help us expand Starlink's network, expand its impact in the coming years as we expand that access to high-speed internet all around the world, and eventually beyond. And the Starlink simulators that we're deploying today, they're going to be on the same suborbital trajectory as Starship. We expect them to demise as they enter in the atmosphere. And then Starship's trajectory itself looks very similar to our last several flights, splashdowns targeted in the Indian Ocean. And on top of all of that, we're also going to relight a single Raptor engine again while in space. We're just trying to get data on in-space Raptor burns. You're going to need those for deorbit burns when we're doing
Gillette razor blades coming out of it. That's what I thought too. They do look like how the old Gillette razor blades used to pop out the case.
There's a lot on Starship's plate for today. But one of the hallmarks of these Starship flights are the incredible views.
Yeah, they're going to put 4, but they're in an orbit that they'll just deorbit. They won't reach orbit.
Both on Earth and
so they're just going to burn up.
All this connects us to the big mission. Let's head back to Chris.
Thanks, Kate. And as fans of Starship may know that Starlink enables us to bring you a lot of those unprecedented views, both from space
Must
and
be fighting the Klingons.
Personally, I love all those epic views of the plasma wrapping around Starship
Ew.
during re-entry show. Thank
Took
you
me a
to
minute,
the
too.
teams who enable all of those amazing views and the information we get. Now, in addition to the dozens
Yeah,
of cameras
it's just
on
to
Starship itself, as you see on your
see if they
screen here,
can
we
launch
also have
them.
mobile Starlink camera kits deployed in the middle of the Indian Ocean, as you're seeing from a previous flight. Starlink also allows us to connect our aerial cinematography units on the ground at Starbase and at other strategic.
Wonder why there's one green one. Somebody run out of orange rafts.
That's all part of how it comes together to help us tell the incredible story of Starship, both on and off the planet. So thanks to Starlink, Starship is now capable of streaming more than 120 megabits per second of real-time, high-definition video and telemetry.
120 megs a second coming off that fucking ship. Holy shit.
All of us, but also the invaluable engineering data
Yep.
to help our engineers rapidly iterate across all systems of Starship. And all of that streaming data today.
Oh, they weren't brave enough to try to catch it in the raft. Maybe that's what the green one's for.
Today's flight. Now, Starlink is the world's largest satellite constellation operating
Hey, Blauheed.
in orbit to deliver high-speed,
Made it.
low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet access to people around the world, many of whom have
Come on, tell us about that hold.
before. As of today, Starlink is serving more than 125
They're still fueling.
territories and other markets and has more than 5 million active customers and counting. But to meet the growing global demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX recently expanded its factory at Bastrop, Texas, and introduced Starlink Mini as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink Standard kit. Here's our first ever look inside our brand new Bastrop facility.
Yeah, they lost a Falcon 9 last night.
Stat where like the odds of being struck by lightning in your lifetime are like about 1 in 15,000.
That's why the Chinese said it was fake CGI, as they were saying that never get that kind of footage of launch, catching or landing. Yeah, they're fucking. They own Starlink, and there's like 10 receivers on that thing. They're crazy amounts of data they're getting off that.
Just about 20 miles east of downtown Austin. So the main function of this site is to produce our standard Starlink kits. Right now we're producing 15.
They're close. They could have at least tried it. What did I miss?
Come in, raw aluminum comes in, and we make those into.
Oh, try to catch it in the raft.
When you manufacture the product that you design in-house, you're forced to live with the mistakes. What that means is that you're very motivated to quickly innovate and iterate, such that you can
Look how fast those little robots are
Our previous generation
doing those connections.
line was maxed out in terms of capability, and the demand for Starlink has kept growing. So when we sat down to go design this factory and this version of our production line, we were really forcing ourselves to innovate.
I wish it wasn't so expensive, because I'd like to get the mobile one and use it at home and mobile both.
The future of this factory is growth. We're in the middle right now of constructing an expansion to our current factory.
Ours is at the Butler High School rifle team, one state champs.
And allow us to continue to insource more of our manufacturing process.
Well, congratulations to them.
Continue to go from raw material to completed kit within the walls of this factory.
They made our rifle team had to, in New York, all had to switch to BB guns and pellet guns. They couldn't use 22s anymore.
2 years ago, this was an empty building with no employees, and over the last 20 months, we've built a factory from scratch. We've gone from producing 0 kits to over 70,000 a week, and we've gone from 0 employees to over 1,000.
That be sped up. See how fast my 3D printer goes? How fast?
Incredible to see all of the tech in that facility that will help millions of people around the world the way they want to use it and the way that they need to use that technology. Definitely a lot of good things to come from our Bastrop facility.
There's like $4,000 air guns now.
That enables us to do all of these amazing things.
Ed,
Probably seen some changes recently.
fucking, they have to, because New York wouldn't let them use firearms in school anymore.
At Starbase, and this
Stupid.
has redesigned chopsticks and is built to accommodate the next generation of Starship and Super Heavy. It will have a redesigned launch mount and flame diverter
Video
system
making
built to be rapidly
after this show is over.
enough to withstand hundreds of launches at a time. Now, over at the production site down the road, we're also
I got a busy week. I did one yesterday, and I got one today, and then 3 other flights this week. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
More starships at the same time over our current megabays. But Gigabay isn't just for Texas. If that weren't exciting enough, we're also further expanding.
But I do like the fact that you can just put the flight plan right in 2024. You can just put the flight plan right in the video description. That makes it handy.
Launch cadence continues to pick up pace at Starbase.
Now he's gone to bed. That's too funny.
Building a Gigabay as well. Gigabay will stand 380 feet tall and will provide about 46.5.
You flew a new plane today for the first time? It wasn't the Scout, was it?
15,000 square feet of workspace. Now, as environmental impacts,
And Boo can grow really fast.
for potential Starship launches and flights from both Launch Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center and Launch Complex 37 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, we plan to complete the Starship launch pad at Pad 39A this year. And pending the completion of environmental review, SpaceX intends to conduct the first Starship launch from Florida from Launch Pad 39A later this year. Now, we're also interested in enabling Starship launches from Slick 37. And as part of this process, SpaceX has been given a limited right of entry for Pad 37 to conduct further due diligence at the site in order
I should make a short video, put it on Discord for you to see.
led by the Department of the Air Force. Ultimately, we will
That's a 3D printer.
integration, refurbishment, and launch facilities in both
There's some pretty fast 3D printers out there.
Starship to help make humanity a multiplanetary civilization. And Kate, I could talk about this stuff for literally hours on end, but we've got a Starship to launch today. So how are things looking 11 minutes before launch here?
The Bamboo A1 is what you have?
It's pretty
Cool.
that we're getting close to go time. Quick update on range and weather. For the range, the area around the pad has been well cleared. This includes the land, air, and sea space. So all is clear on the range front. That also applies to over in the Indian Ocean. The sea and airspace has been cleared as well for ships re-entry. Once again, we are making a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean. So
I had somebody try to give me 2 3D printers and I wouldn't take them.
Once again, weather.
This last thing I need is more shit in my house.
Chance of violating the weather the weather constraints for launch today. So it's not perfect, but it's not bad. Visibility also not so awesome. We can see the tower here. We're 2 miles away from the launch pad, but visibility around the greater area might be a little challenging.
Yeah, in terms of the vehicle itself, so right now you can see we're almost done loading prop on ship, almost done on booster. If you tuned in and heard earlier, we did hear talk about a flight controller hold going in. So just a reminder, all that means is we wouldn't be able to pass that T-minus 40-second mark. They're literally talking about it right now in the loops that they think they've got the problem figured out. It was an issue on the booster where we think we will be clear by about the T-minus 2-minute mark.
Good.
We'll be able to move right through that T-minus 40.
Don't tell anybody? So, or you don't want me talking over Kate, or do you want me to talk about the new plane?
And we're expecting that issue to clear before we get to the
Ender printer. Is it a Minecraft printer?
This morning, though, we did all of the usual checkouts, aligned the navigation systems, did all of our booster and ship tank purges, got them ready for prop load, chill down the pad, which you can see.
About the new B-52 bomber.
Things are pretty there. Prop load.
Checking the flaps.
We just did
Shit! Now you let the cat out of the bag.
A wiggle checkout on the chopstick arms as well. We are going to continue loading prop for about another 6 minutes. We're going to close.
Love Shack, baby.
It's 20 seconds before launch. Booster just about 30
on the floor.
So we've had at least one issue that we're still working in the background, expecting that to clear before we hit that hold gate at T-minus 40 seconds, and looking good.
Yeah, so bottom line, things are looking good for lift.
Flaps are flapping.
Under 9 minutes. We're now at, looks like 8
clear prop.
seconds. So everything's looking
Need my card number?
Before we get any closer to liftoff, I need to shamelessly plug Starbase. I'm one of just a couple thousand people who work here. Soon to be the newest city in Texas at Starbase, and we're the largest employer in the area. We're always hiring, so visit spacex.com/careers, see all the openings. It's where the future's being built, and it's a future we can all be pretty excited about. So yeah.
So you can go to SpaceX and see all the openings.
Regularly scheduled program. Let's launch a rocket.
I'm game.
All right, so we're at 8 minutes until liftoff. As we mentioned before,
oh, that was too easy.
Are already on console. They're located located in our Ad Astra Launch Control Center, about 6 miles away from the pad. But they will soon be moving here with us to Star Factory. So a lot of excitement around that, certainly growing.
Yeah, and again, general status check, we're continuing to progress. We're under 8 minutes away. We're tracking an issue with booster. We're expecting that to clear. Still looking good for launch. Speaking of booster, let's talk about catching one.
Absolutely.
The tower's 2 giant robotic arms that lift and stack Starship on a Super Heavy for final integration ahead of flight. We also use those to catch. It means we don't have any landing legs in the booster. Makes the booster.
See, SpaceX plays on console. Life just sent me a news article.
And after the 2 stages separate in flight, Super Heavy will return to the launch site, the same exact launch site that it lifted off from, reignite its engines to slow the vehicle down. Here we
The space says it's entering the initial. Yeah, off of Tazi. I saw that. There's going to be a Russian craft re-entering off Tazi.
And just like the last few,
it's not expected to hurt people or property, but you may hear a sonic boom. Yeah, I just saw that. You may be able to see this thing screaming in over the southwest corner of
Super Heavy on the launch tower.
Tasmania.
Final manual command from the mission's flight director for the day. If that command isn't sent,
yeah, I saw that. I meant to send that to you too. I read it this morning, but I got busy. I had to go to the doctor's.
Landing burn and a soft splashdown in the Gulf.
Yeah, we have said it multiple times before, but it still holds true today. We accept no compromises when it comes to ensuring the safety of the public and our team, and the return will only take place if the conditions are right, and there are many of them.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that we may not get to catch the booster today.
Yeah, and one aspect to the return and the catch of that booster is the audible sonic boom in the area around the return location that happens as the booster's slowing down.
It's Mars 4, so now.
It's similar to sonic booms that were heard.
Yeah, so I missed the one yesterday.
It's a space shuttle for anyone that was in Florida for those.
Sonic booms like these are unique to vehicles returning from space.
4 days, and they don't. Yeah,
of reusable systems like our Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy vehicles. The general impact to those in the surrounding area of a sonic boom is basically a brief thunder-like noise. And I've heard sonic booms before, but I got to experience my first in-person Starship sonic boom on Flight 7, and I can confirm it's pretty fun to experience.
Oh yeah, I want to see one of these launches. When they get to be more regular, I'm going. Next one on Friday, but I'll be streaming. Oh, that sucks.
And as someone who has heard sonic booms many times in Florida, they are definitely a hallmark, and what a way to announce a returning space vehicle.
I've seen Shuttle, I've seen Falcon 9, I've seen the Mars, the original Mars rover, Spirit and Opportunity. I'd like to see one of these. Not so much see it, I want to hear it or feel it, because the space shuttle wasn't so much about seeing it, because you couldn't see it very long. But fucking A, you felt it.
And those 39 Raptor engines that were built right here in Hawthorne. Now with 4 minutes,
You didn't even hear it, you felt it. The whole body vibrates from the sound of that space shuttle when it went up.
So we are still looking good. We're just about fully topped out on propellant on both vehicles. The closeout's going to be coming up in about a minute on ship, and then about 30 seconds later on the booster.
If I hear a sonic boom in the loft, then I guess it won't be in game.
We're tracking. We may still be able to pass the hold, but if we need to hold it T-minus 40 seconds.
You know, parts of old Russian rocket. old space.
And work to just kind of
Need to try down for one of these launches. Not sure how long it would take to get to the Texas site from Wichita. Fuck. Crossing, once you're in Texas, it takes forever. Just from Houston down takes all fucking day. Texas is huge. Seen the space shuttle when I was in 4th grade. The rest of my class. And turned off the TV real quick. Oh, I was in my... You're that much younger than me? I was in the senior room when that happened. We watched it live.
Safety system will be armed and thrust vector control, or TVC, checkouts will be performed. As we said, if we do need to hold, it would come at that T-minus 40-second mark. That is the point in the countdown where we can pause to wait for final checkouts or pressurization, or
They show a map too.
to work through that issue. So once we pass through that T-minus 40-second mark, a number of things are going to happen quite quickly.
It goes long.
Ignition systems come up to flight pressure. The ship's going to go on to internal power.
It's almost full.
The quick disconnect, or QD, arm lockout is removed in preparation for retraction shortly after T0. And as once we do pass that T-minus 40 seconds, we still have the ability to recycle the count under certain conditions back to that T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what happened. And if we
I was out at Edwards Air Force Base the first time the shuttle landed at White Sands. I was in Florida and it landed out at Edwards.
We do have a couple of things like
I was back out at, or excuse me, I was out at Edwards the first time it landed in Florida. Every time I was in Florida to watch it land, it landed somewhere else. I finally saw the last one to land in Florida went over my house. We'll see Brett live on air catching debris. Stay safe, buddy. So I never got to see it actually land the shuttle. I was always at a base where it wasn't.
We're coming up just under.
Ever due to Russia? Oh yeah, we took in Ukrainians.
That T-minus 40-second mark while they still talk through a couple of.
Mouth open, tongue out like it's a snowflake.
We can hold there for several minutes, even with all prop fully loaded on the vehicle, before we can release the hold and decide to move forward.
Looks like there's a little hole in the clouds. You might be able to see it for a little ways.
All right, less than a minute and a half away. Again, keep your eye on the clock. Look for T-minus 40. We may hold there. It's not a rocket launch unless you're talking nonstop in the background until right before you lift off.
One of my Merkiller Pride
Again, if we hold at T-minus 40 seconds, we have an opportunity to hold there for several minutes. This is unique to Starship.
Yeah, but that thing is so fucking heavy. It's got. I bet it takes a serious wind to fucking knock it off course at all. That thing's a monster heavy.
We are going to hold at T-minus 40, so look for the clock to pause when we hit.
Oh, we're going to hold. Damn it.
As they finish troubleshooting, and then we'll
dropped a huge chunk. Yeah, size of yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Australia.
That clock's going to start rolling. So holding at T-minus 40. The team's still troubleshooting. We can hang out here for a couple of minutes.
Have you turned it off and back on again? Have you tried restarting it?
All right, and it sounds like we cleared the issue on the.
Oh, please.
We're now holding for a late breaking.
No.
Ship, so they're talking through that right now.
Shit.
Dan, you mentioned things that we've gotten really good at.
It says 2 minutes.
It's incredible to think that we just stacked this vehicle earlier this morning, and we're already, through prop load. Prop load's pretty much complete and ready to go. It's
hold for final launch checkouts.
Timeline.
Yeah, this by far will be our fastest. We stacked the thing for the first time ever with these vehicles less than 24 hours ago. We
tires.
Really want to get to a point where we can, fly rapidly, fly as quickly as possible, and so this is definitely a case to try and push that forward. No wet dress or anything like that with these vehicles.
Absolutely. And should this booster come back for a successful landing, you were talking about the rapid part of rapid reusability. This booster may fly on a future Starship flight if we're able to catch it and bring it back online.
Come on, ship, get your shit together.
So for those of you
the booster decided to fix itself.
We have paused at T-minus 40 seconds just to assess and work through a problem.
Ticklish balls right off the bat.
And we are holding here as the teams troubleshoot it. We believe that we have put in a solution and we will be able to proceed, but we have some chatter on some nets indicating that we're just holding here for a few more seconds. This is
Bacon, can't be bacon,
a
only
great
one thing smells like
opportunity
bacon, that's
for the
bacon!
teams.
Bacon, bacon,
This
bacon,
is
bacon,
unique
there!
on Starship. We don't have this ability on Falcon to hold here, partially because there's just so much propellant that it takes longer as a whole for it to cool down with that amount of volume that we have compared to the Falcon.
Condensation, because it's fucking cold.
40-second hold is pretty cool because basically everything that would have been a scrub is actually just an opportunity.
It's waiting for the sim update 1.
I should say many things, not everything. We're, like I said, we're working through an issue now, but we can also pause here for final checkouts or completion of pressurization to get up to flight levels, that kind of thing. So it's a nice feature to allow the team to wait for final checkouts.
1.4 million people watching this channel.
Or engine health and that kind of stuff.
That's not including the people watching everybody else's channels, like Everyday Astronaut, NASA Spaceflight, and all the others. Condensation. Uh-oh. They all forgot what they were going to say next. Like, shit, what do we do now? We didn't plan for a hold. It got quiet. All right, come on. Come on, Kate. Some more lube. There you go.
Hello, and welcome to another... Hang on a minute. It's not my stream.
Nice.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
At this T-minus 40-second gate, we cleared an issue on the booster that we were working up until the hold, still working one on.
What? No way. Fuck's sake.
We can still hold here for several more minutes. If we're not able to resolve the issue or find a workaround, then we would.
New Cessna TTX came out market. I can't even look at the marketplace anymore because I can't get fucking 2020 to stay running long enough.
But that clearly depends on what work we might need to do to fix any issues. So just obviously stay tuned. But right now, we're a little over 5 minutes into this hold today. We have a couple more minutes that we can hold at T-minus 40 before we have to kick out. Essentially, looking at a lot of those propellant temperatures on both vehicles, you want those to stay in pretty specific ranges for engine startup and things like that. That's what generally drives how long we can hold at T-minus 40. So still hanging out. As soon as we hear an update on the ship.
Oh, come on. Light the candle.
We will let you know.
Just 40 seconds. Just light it. Piss on it. There you go. I don't want this bleeding over into tomorrow. Probably take 2 days to recycle it, I'll bet. Who made the Cessna TTX?
Starting to sound like we might have a decision real soon.
$39, $38, $37. It's counting.
Right, you see the clock rolling.
They're going to light it.
It's time to go for launch.
Here we go.
30 seconds to go.
Oh, went back to 41. Never mind.
And we just heard a hold.
Not going to go today.
Psych. No. So we did kick out back to the T-minus 40 hold.
No. They're not going to be able to keep it much longer. I keep myself occupied and putting more nonsense in the player. You're welcome. Yeah, that's not good. Not a good sign.
All right, so as we started counting back down, we did trip a few more holds automatically from the booster itself. So we are now going to hang out here again at T-minus 40. They've got a couple more troubleshooting steps that they can take. If we're able to get through that, we can start counting down again. If not, we could always offload and try again.
Don't found a match, but it went out.
Right now we're
Sim Federation? Not sure if I know their stuff.
At T-minus 40 seconds.
They play out the rest of the week.
Some more, start seeing that clock move. You will know if we're going to go for our launch attempt today or if we just try to get another day. So keep listening in, and we'll have an update shortly.
I used to say, that's nice.
I lost the keys.
Now I say, fuck off.
They don't have, like, you can't run them both at the same time. Can't run Starship, Toaster, and Microwave at the same time. Go. Go what? Go to hell?
All right, and we did just hear the call.
Nope, scrub.
For today, so we had a couple of holds trip as we
Scrub.
from T-minus 40 again.
Later in the week.
Not something we can change with small config tweaks, so we are going to offload our prop and then try again another day. So we're able to fully tank the vehicle. We're unable to lift off today, but just because we don't go today doesn't mean we're not going to go tomorrow or one of the days coming up. So we are going to start offloading all of that propellant on the booster and the ship. As we talked a little bit earlier, we can go as soon as 24 hours later. We won't know that for sure until we dig into everything that kicked us out of our attempt today. So obviously just keep an eye on all of our updates.
Alrighty. Well, as soon as the next one is, we will be back.
About 24 hours, but we will.
And if there's a stream that night, we'll just postpone it to a different night.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Unfortunately, we would have liked to lift off today, but the teams are doing the right thing and standing down while we troubleshoot, and we'll share more information as it becomes available, including when our next launch opportunity is. So be sure to keep an eye on our SpaceX account on X, and as I said, we'll share more information as it becomes available.
All right. Thanks all for joining us today. We'll see you at the next attempt.
No problem. Like I said, like they just said, we'll see you at the next attempt, everybody. Thanks for coming out, checking it out, hanging out with me while we're watching it. And like I say, we'll watch whatever day they have it this week. And if it happens to be the same night as the stream, we'll just switch the stream to Wednesday or Saturday. So we'll get all the streams in, and we'll get this SpaceX in as well. So thanks everybody for coming out, hanging out. Much appreciated. We'll see you all the next one. Bye. Maybe. You know what? I fucking lost the button for the first time in forever. I lost the fucking button. I haven't done that in a while. I completely can't find the button to shut down the stream. I have completely lost my mind. I lost the button.